We have some major changes incoming for this Cleveland Cavaliers team as new head coach Kenny Atkinson is implementing some more modern strategies to this Cavaliers offense, which should unlock some of the guys that are currently on this roster. So I'm pretty excited about that, including an update from Jaylon Tyson as he is motivated to prove all the doubters wrong entering the season and had some massive quotes regarding his upcoming season, for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So lots of stuff to dive into in this video. But before we do, folks, again, if you're part of the over 88% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you stay up to date with everything that's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Preseason is just around the corner, and it should be a very, very exciting season for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So lots of stuff to get into. The first thing we're taking a look at is Jaylon Tyson speaking out on his season. Now, Jaylon Tyson was selected in the first round of this year's NBA draft for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and again, a mid to late first round pick, not a ton of expectations coming into a team that should be very competitive, making a playoff run for the Cavs this season. But Jaylon Tyson in Summer League impressed a lot of people, a lot of fans of the team. Everyone that sort of watches highlights looked at him as a draft prospect, knew he could be a solid scorer, a shooter, all those things, and is coming in as a 3-year college prospect, so is going to be a little bit more polished than other rookies that are out there in the league, but really during Summer League impressed a ton with his ability to facilitate, ability to pass, do different things out there on the court. But he wants to show more than that in his rookie season for the Cleveland Cavaliers. As essentially, he came out and said that I just want to show why they picked me at 20 and really dove into, his role, him being able to slide in right away for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And, while some may have thought it was a reach, some may have thought this, he quieted the doubters during Summer League and really impressed a ton, during his quotes, his maturity coming in out there for the Cleveland Cavaliers team. And we should expect this for Jaylon Tyson. Just looking at the stats, what he was able to provide out there in college. Essentially, Tyson played 3 years of college, improved every single season, which is a huge, huge positive there. And for California last year, averaged 20 points per game, shot close to 36%, on a higher volume than he did the previous season, but is a guy that also improved his passing, improved a lot of areas over his career in college. Every single season took a major step up, whether it be in teams, whether it be in production, really just overall, just as a prospect coming out there into the NBA. Now for the Cleveland Cavaliers, after a really strong Summer League and a team that has extremely high expectations and a few guys that play a similar position to Tyson out there on the roster, off the bench, he'll be competing with Caris LeVert, a lot of guys out there on the wings. So, the fact that he's coming in motivated, ready to rock as a passer, as a shooter, as a wing scoring threat for this team is going to be a huge boost to this Cavaliers depth, to this Cavaliers bench. And made a video this weekend regarding Emoni Bates. There are a few guys that I think a lot of Cavs fans are overlooking in regards to players that are going to be able to get some minutes, get some rotation run, and frankly, have an impact to bolster the depth on this Cleveland Cavaliers team that we know has the star power. Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Strus out there in the starting lineup. But then you have guys like Merrill, you have guys like Tyson, you have Emoni Bates able to, potentially provide some value with his added strength. You have guys like Dean Wade. You have a lot of players on this team that are going to be capable of having impact for this Cavs squad. So I'm very, very excited. Jaylon Tyson's ready to come into the league and be ready to go. But the next thing we're taking a look at, the next topic of discussion, is Kenny Atkinson making some major changes to this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Because, again, there were some criticisms, there were some stuff thrown the way of, the coaching, the decisions made last season. But Kenny Atkinson's brought in to really innovate the offense and, get the most out of the players that are on this Cavs team. And frankly, that's what he was able to do with the Brooklyn Nets. For years was a top lead assistant for the Golden State Warriors. And now it's bringing a new approach to what the Cavs are doing out there on the offensive end, as essentially he's come out and revealed some lights in terms of his strategy of what he's doing this season. Essentially, Kenny Atkinson shared an early point of emphasis for Evan Mobley to crash the glass and get out on the break. Pushing the ball in transition, Atkinson thinks it will solve the too big dilemma by forcing defenses to scramble for Jarrett Allen can act as a trailer. So again, there's always been some criticism. There's been some stuff thrown the way of the roster construction of the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially by, fans, people are watching from the outside in about, hey, can Evan Mobley, can Jarrett Allen work together, be a dynamic duo? I mean, the Cavs won a ton of games last season when Evan Mobley was out, and it was mostly the Donovan Mitchell, Jarrett Allen kind of core, getting some W's, getting some runs to the Cavs last season. So, doesn't make sense. Do these guys really work themselves out, being multiple bigs? Well, we know Evan Mobley is a capable ball handler, despite being a 7-foot kind of feet off for this team, and him being able to get the ball and run the ball in transition allows the team to be able to play faster, get more mobile. I mean, when you have Evan Mobley being able to run up the court, and we've seen other coaches, Eric Spoelstra, we've seen Nick Nurse run these types of strategies with bigs on their team, whether Bam Adebayo, the Raptors more deep cut with Precious Achiuwa. They were doing some weird stuff. Some of the top coaches in the leagues leading their bigs to get the rebound and run the break, run the transition. People you don't expect to be, head man in the basketball. And Evan Mobley's a talent capable of doing that. It's going to allow the Cavs to play a lot faster. And again, it just more so evens out the court because Allen can play as that sort of trail lead guy. So when everyone's tagged out there in transition defense, Allen can slide down the middle of the court, just catch that basketball and be in that dunker position right away. And Mobley's able to obviously score himself out there in the wings. So that's going to make more sense in terms of floor balance for this Cleveland Cavaliers squad. And the more interesting part in terms of the strategy change for this Cavs squad is particularly Kenny Atkinson is coming out and saying that Darius Garland shared that Kenny Atkinson has stressed that Garland, Donovan Mitchell, as well as Max Strus need to be running to the corners on fast breaks to get up three-point shots and encourages them to pull up from the top of the perimeter. Now, this is something modern basketball, the analytics, they all indicate, threes are worth more than two. And even though it's a lower percentage shots in terms of makes, the value of those shots are higher. So mathematically, it just makes sense. If you can get an open, clean three-point shot, then that's something that you want to really go for. That's something you really want to push for your team. And we know, right? Donovan Mitchell, one of the best three-point shooters. Like Max Strus can get hot in a hurry, right? We have a lot of shooters on this Cleveland Cavaliers team you can watch and play and really knock down some buckets. And them running the corners is something that has been underutilized for this Cavs team in recent seasons. And frankly, these guys haven't been getting the most out of their skills in terms of what they've been able to provide to be a corner three-point shots. They weren't getting those. Bickerstaff wasn't getting those open looks open for Donovan Mitchell and these guys. And you can look at it in the stats, right? It shows in terms of the corner three-point shooting percentages. Donovan Mitchell is a 37% three-point shooter on extremely high volume, but only shot 32% on corner threes. And that's not because, from the corners, Donovan Mitchell is just a way worse three-point shooter or something like that. That's because the offense is not conducive to giving Donovan Mitchell open three-point corner shots. Max Strus, one of the best three-point corner shooters for the Miami Heat for years, only shot 33% on corner threes last season and 35% overall. I mean, if in transition, if there's a point of emphasis being made by Kenny Atkinson to get these guys better looks, to get these guys in a position to get more open shots from the easiest three-point shot in basketball, that's going to increase efficiency. That's going to increase the Cavs' ability to get open shots, which is going to lead to higher scoring totals for this Cleveland Cavaliers team going into next season. So I am very, very excited. I think it's an underrated aspect that people are overlooking about the Cavs season this year. Just having Kenny Atkinson be the mastermind he is at the coaching position to make different moves to get maximized talent, because there are 4 all-star caliber players potentially on this Cleveland Cavaliers team in Garland and Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. And frankly, if these guys can all get maximized in terms of talent with Kenny Atkinson, with a deeper bench, Jaylon Tyson, with Imani Bates, with different guys out there's going to be a big chance the Cleveland Cavaliers are able to shock everybody going into this season. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys think as far, subscribe to the channel. I mean, again, if you've made it this far in the video and you're part of the 88% that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.